Hey, now, Ms. Patton, I want to reorient you back to your testimony last week on Friday. Your testimony regarding your daughters, Tina and Melissa. What was the birth date, Melissa Wolfenbarger?
September 9th, 1977.
Okay. And what about Tina Patton?
March 28th, 1970.
Okay. And how long were you married to Carl Patton?
56 years, 6 months, and 8 days.
Did you continue to be married to Carl Patton after you provided the testimony against him?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And is he still living? Is he still alive, Carl Patton?
No, he passed away
When did he pass away?
December 16th, 2024.
And what was his age?
He was 75.
And where was Carl Patton raised as a child?
Originally College Park and then Ellenwood.
Are you familiar with whether or not Carl Patton ever lived in Fulton County?
No. College Park was all I ever knew about. Is that Fulton County?
That's fine. Thank you.
Mr. Fawcett, forgive me for interrupting, but as promised, I'm going to stop for just a moment and let my court reporter and any lawyers that need to get attached to the Zoom. Looks like the podium's not cooperating. That didn't need to be on the record. You can go ahead now.
And when you first met Carl Patton, where were you living at?
I was living in Jonesboro, Riverdale.
And what about when the two of you first got married? Where were you living?
Ellenwood.
And what part of the state did you raise your two children?
Partially Clayton County, and then we moved to Stockbridge, and then moved to Locust Grove.
Did you ever visit Atlanta, the area of Atlanta, when your daughters were growing up?
No, not really.
Now, you were testifying that Melissa, your daughter, had left a note for you. You recall that testimony?
Yes.
How often would she do that?
I think she left the note, I think it was only one time, but she left pictures multiple times.
Yeah. If you could just guesstimate, how many different occasions would you say she's done that?
I'd say about around 4 or 5.
Did you and Melissa ever talk on the telephone?
Yes,
How often did you do that?
pretty more frequent than when she would come. She would always call on the holidays or special days.
And besides just holidays in particular, would you talk just random phone calls with your daughter Melissa? Would that happen as well?
Yes,
So if we're looking at, say, any given month, how many times would you say if you could think back to that time, how many times during a given month would you say you talked to Melissa?
at least once.
Now, you were also testifying as to the defendant and Melissa living on the Brookline Street. You recall that?
Yes,
Do you recall if Melissa and the defendant lived anywhere else during that period?
prior to living on Brookline, they lived on Washington Street in East Point, and then Adrian Drive in Stockbridge, and then Brookline.
Okay. And is it your testimony, to your recollection, Brookline would have been that last residence in that succession?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And these previous locations of Washington Street, did you ever visit your daughter and the defendant at either of those locations?
I visited one time on Washington Street.
And you were testifying to a court date in July, an incident that occurred in July of '98. Do you recall picking your daughter up from a location during that period?
When we went to court, the week before she went to court on that, me and her dad went and picked her up on Brookline Street, and then she come and stayed with us until she went to court.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. All this has been asked and answered.
I do recall this testimony, but I'm assuming that Mr. Fawcett is simply reorienting us, and I think that's fair for him to do briefly.
Thank you, Judge. When you arrived at that location, were her children present?
No,
Okay.
they were not.
Was there anyone else present besides Melissa at the residence when you picked her up?
Not that I recall.
And then was that when your testimony is that yourself and Carl Patton took her to the courthouse? Is that your testimony?
I took her to the courthouse. Her dad didn't go with us. It was just me and Melissa.
And after that court date, when was the next time that you saw your daughter, Melissa?
The next time I saw her was when I went to see her when she was in the DeKalb County Jail for violation of probation.
And are you aware if she was ever released from custody during that period?
She was released from custody November 9th, and that's the last time I saw her.
Okay. How did you come to find out that she was released from custody on November 9th?
Myself and her father went to the court date. We were in court when she went in front of the judge.
Okay. Do you know if on that date your daughter was able to provide, Melissa was able to provide the court with any specific information about her health at that time?
She told them at that time, the judge, that she was pregnant.
Were you present in court at the time that she informed the judge of this?
Yes.
And was that the first time that you had heard Melissa discuss that?
Yes.
Okay. And after that statement in court that she was pregnant, do you see Melissa again after that?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, at any point, have you participated in any interviews for, say, podcasts in particular related to this homicide?
Yes, I have.
All right. As what is the most recent memory you have of a podcast that you might have participated in?
I don't understand what you're asking.
How recent have you done that?
It's been a couple years.
Okay. And if Melissa's remains were identified in 2003, just pointing you back to that time period, how soon after that do you recall speaking with media or going on a podcast in particular?
It was years. I don't think we did the podcast until, I don't remember the date. I think around 2021.
Okay. And what sparked or initiated you appearing on podcasts? What was the purpose of that?
I went in trying to bring Melissa's case to the forefront because nothing was being done. The original detective had retired from the case, and I was having trouble finding out any information about what was being done.
Okay. Now, did you go on, say, one interview or podcast, or did you do multiple during that period?
We did, I think, total of 3 podcasts.
Okay. And did you participate in any other interviews besides, say, podcasts in particular, with any other media outlets?
Last year, I think there was one. I don't remember what it was. I know I did one. I just don't remember the name of it.
Okay. And have you been contacted in this year, the year 2025, have you been contacted by anyone related to any media outlets for this particular case?
Yes.
What medium contacted you?
I think it's Law&Crime, I think, or something along that line.
Okay.
I don't really remember the...
All right. And have you signed anything at this point related to any appearance that you may or may not do in the future connected with this homicide?
I did sign one last month, but I've since decided I'm not going to do it.
And what was that you signed?
It was an agreement to do the program, and not talk to anybody else.
Okay, so the program that's being created, you agreed to do that?
Yes.
All right. And how recent was that?
I signed it last month.
Have you had any other contact related to appearing specifically to speak about this particular homicide?
No.
And is it still your testimony that you and your husband requested law enforcement's assistance to locate your daughter, Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Is that still your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
You just answered some questions to Mr. Fawcett regarding places you'd lived while the children were growing up and things of that nature. Didn't you also live in DeKalb County for a while?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And was that before you moved? It was before you moved to Locust Grove, right?
Yes, that was before, in between Ellenwood and Stockbridge.
Okay. And the daughters lived with you at that time too, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. There was some testimony on Friday regarding comparisons between Tina and Melissa.
Right.
I think you say Tina, is that correct?
It's Tina. Yes.
That Tina was more of a daddy's girl,
Yes.
robust and rebellious,
Yes.
hard-headed maybe,
Yes.
and Melissa was more of your baby.
Yeah.
She was soft, shy,
Yes.
quiet. So they were very much opposites as far as sisters,
Pretty much.
girls go. You've been speaking about Melissa's case for many years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You've told your stories many, many times, haven't you?
Yes.
You've done police interviews, correct?
Yes.
And as you've just discussed, podcasts.
Yes.
You've spoken at true crime conferences. Is that correct?
Crime and con.
And you've done media interviews.
A few.
You've been asked many, many times, when did you first feel that something was wrong with Melissa? Haven't you?
When she didn't call or come to see me on Christmas Day, 1998.
And you knew in your gut something was wrong at that moment.
Yes.
And Melissa didn't have a phone.
No, sir.
She didn't have a landline.
No,
She didn't have
sir.
any way to contact her.
Right.
So when you got worried enough, all you could do was drive up and check on her.
Right.
So you did go drive up and check on her.
We did, but not until after my birthday.
And Carl went with you, right?
Yes.
And you just testified that Carl had grown up in College Park.
Right.
And that's kind of down near the airport, right?
Right.
And also in East Point. Is that right?
I'm not sure about East Point.
Didn't his grandfather have a house on Main Street in College Park?
I do not know.
But he knew the area in general, didn't he?
I would assume so.
When Melissa didn't call you on your birthday, as you said, you and Carl drove up to Brookline Street to their house, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
And you and Carl went together. You found their house empty. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you talked to the neighbors.
Carl talked to the neighbor.
Carl talked to the neighbors. And when I say you in that context, I mean you and Carl collectively. And you and Carl apparently learned from those people at the same time that Chris had moved out around Christmas.
Yes, sir.
And that he had worked at Action Glass around the corner
Yes, sir.
on Avon Avenue.
Yes.
Do you remember talking to Detective Shepard in 2021
Yes, sir.
as part of getting the investigation of this case re-going again?
Yes.
And do you remember telling Detective Shepard at that time that it wasn't until late 1999 or early 2000 until you went up there?
I really don't remember.
If I were to show you a transcript of that interview, would it refresh your memory?
Possibly.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I apologize for the fine print. I hope your glasses can read that. But you can start here and you can read the highlighted portion.
That's just like he says that Carl.
I'm sorry.
No.
Read to yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh,
read to
I'm
yourself
sorry.
and see if that refreshes your memory. your memory of talking with Detective Shepard?
Yes, sir.
And you told Shepard at that time that you didn't know where Christopher worked until 1999 or early 2000, correct?
Correct.
And every time you went up there looking, you got told Chris worked somewhere else.
Right.
But you testified on Friday and here this morning specifically that you guys actually went up there in February of 1999, correct?
Correct.
And that was 2 months before Melissa's remains were found, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember appearing or speaking or giving an interview for Cheryl McCollum's podcasts?
Yes.
And do you remember on one of those podcasts you said that you'd never even, when you heard the news story of a human head discovered on Avon Avenue, you'd never even heard of Avon Avenue and didn't know where Christopher worked?
I did not know the name of the road that Action Glass was on. I only knew Action Glass. I did not associate Avon Avenue with that because, to my recollection, as I traveled around 285, there was an Avon Avenue off 285. So that's where I thought Avon Avenue was.
I see.
I did not make the connection to Avon Avenue and Action Glass until 2003 when Calhoun took me to the location.
Okay.
That's when I connected the two places.
And you're testifying that you believe there's an Avon Avenue exit on 285.
There used to be I don't know that it was Avon exit, but there was, Avon was listed at an exit.
Okay. Do you remember doing a podcast with Ms. McCollum and Karen Greer called CSI Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember that in yet another version of this story, you said that it was after Christmas that you and Carl went up there and found the house empty?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Do you deny saying that?
No, I don't. I don't deny it. I just don't recall it.
Okay. Do you recall being interviewed by Detective Calhoun in 2003, which I understand is a long time ago?
Yes.
I can't remember where I parked sometime on the same day. So you told him that when you got worried after your birthday, you went to Christopher's mother's house.
I did not go. When I went to Kathy's house, I caught her coming out. I don't remember the exact date or what even what month it was, but I was riding by her house, saw her getting out of the car, and I pulled in there and asked her where Melissa was.
Okay. And that was after she had been identified or before? Obviously it was before.
This was back in 1999.
Okay.
When she was missing.
In all your interviews, however, you've been very consistent and made it very clear that on one thing, and that is that you despised Christopher from the very first time you saw him. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
You said that you didn't like the way his eyes looked.
Right.
You've said in podcasts that you just saw meanness in his eyes.
As my mother would say, that's...
The very first time you met him, and he would have been about, what, 15 years old?
Somewhere around there.
Maybe even a little bit younger?
Older, maybe.
Maybe a little older?
Because I believe he was driving at that point.
When he first started dating Melissa, you had him arrested at your house many times, didn't you?
I did.
Reported him as trespassing.
Yes.
How many times would you say? 8? 10?
I don't know.
You did everything.
Make a guess.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't make a guess.
Okay. You did everything you could to prevent them from dating, though, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You moved her. You moved her to a separate location for a while, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You isolated her. You tried to prevent her from leaving your house. correct?
Correct.
You tried to make her take birth control.
I did make her take birth control. I thought I was
Although
making her take.
as you testified on Friday, she was pretending to take it and not taking it.
Right.
You remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that the reason the birth control didn't work was because you brought her back out of hiding too soon before it had time to take effect.
Yes.
Okay. But you testified on Friday that what actually was going on, as we just discussed, was that she was pretending to take it but not really taking it.
Right.
And doesn't that indicate that she was okay with getting pregnant?
Yes.
As you see it, Christopher took her away from you, right?
Right.
And you've never forgiven him for that, have you?
No.
And you worked even while they were married to get her away from him, didn't you?
No. How did I do that?
Your daughter Tina also joined you in trying to get her away from Chris while they were married.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I didn't do anything.
Well, if you say, I don't know. If you don't know, you don't know, right? That's fine. When was the first time you remember Melissa running away from home? Now, I'm not asking you why she ran away. I'm just remember, when was the first time you remember her running away from home?
When she met Chris.
And you always reported her as a runaway, correct?
I did.
And Carl always spanked her when she came home from running away, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Do you recall an episode where Melissa found a dead baby in a clothes hamper in your house?
Yes.
Wasn't your daughter Tina prosecuted for that?
Yes, she was.
I'm going to object. Grounds of relevance.
So that second question, I'm going to sustain your objection, but the first question is overruled. Go ahead, Mr. McDermott.
Wasn't it Melissa that found that baby?
Yes.
And was that around 1992?
1991.
91. And Melissa would have been 14 years old at that time, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, as you discussed, I think earlier in your testimony, you're aware that Melissa turned over temporary custody of her children to Christopher's parents in 1996.
Yes.
Mr. Fawcett, and you presented us with a letter on Friday that Melissa, you say, wrote to you before that.
Yes.
And have you read this letter?
Yes.
And in this letter, she states that that she's pregnant with Joey at the time, right?
Yes.
And she was anticipating that you might be upset about that. Is that fair to say?
I didn't think so.
You didn't think she was anticipating that. I'm assuming that's appropriate.
No, you do not. Thank you.
Can you read this line here just to yourself? And this line, if you will, please. Was Melissa anticipating you being angry with her for being pregnant again?
Yes, she was.
And is it your understanding from this letter that Melissa was expecting to have her tubes tied after this?
I don't know. I don't recall seeing that in that letter.
Okay, let's try it. I'm sorry, read the underlined portions here. I'm sorry for the difficulty.
It's in there, but that's not something we discussed.
So did Melissa write to you saying that this was her last child and she expected to have her tubes tied afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. So when Melissa told a judge in October, November, I guess it was November of 1998, that she was pregnant. Did you
Yes.
believe she was pregnant at the time?
I did not know.
Did she look pregnant at the time?
I don't think so.
Okay. And would telling a judge that you're pregnant be something someone in her position might have done to try to get leniency from the judge?
Speculation.
Don't answer that and sustain.
Okay. After you went up to Brookline Street and got her in July of 98, you took her to the courthouse to help regain custody of her children. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. The date of the Brookline incident was July 21st,
yes,
and then you took her to the Fulton County Court on the next day, which was the 22nd. Is that correct?
no, sir. It didn't go. We didn't have to go to Fulton County to do that.
No.
Because-
I'm sorry. I did confuse, and I want to be clear. So step back from the probate court question for a moment. But after the incident on Brookline Street, didn't you take her to the Fulton County Court to file a report, to file for a TPO?
No, sir.
Okay. So how did Melissa did she spend a few days with you after that? You picked her up on Brookline Street?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And how did she get down to your place?
We picked her up on July the 21st.
So she rode to your place with you.
Yes.
Did she have a car?
No.
Not at that time. So when she went to the probate court in Henry County to deal with the matter of the children, you took her there?
Yes.
Okay. And so you were with her. You were right alongside her when she filed that application. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you remember speaking with Detective Shepard about this issue?
No, I don't.
Do you remember showing him the documents that you had filed in order to get the children back?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember telling him at that point that your understanding of how it worked with temporary guardianship was all you had to say was, I want my kids back?
Right.
Okay. And then the court would give them back to you
Right.
from the temporary guardian. Was that also, do you know at the time, was that also Melissa's understanding?
Yes.
Okay. So did she file the I want my kids back papers?
Yes.
And she was with you?
Yes.
And did you go get physical custody of the children?
Yes.
Did you have the children physically, not with you at that time, but with you in your house at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And she was away from Chris, right?
Yes.
Okay. But she had a court date at the end of that week, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And you've already discussed about how you went to that court date, and Christopher asked if he could speak to her alone, I think were
Yes.
your words?
Yes.
And the judge allowed that.
Yes.
And when you say that he spoke to her alone, did they go into a private room somewhere?
Yes, they did.
They did. The judge allowed them to go to just those two into a private room.
Yes.
Okay. And when they came out, she had all that in her favor already. Her kids back, her legal papers back, with you, and the kids with you.
Yes.
And she chose Chris.
Yes.
And that was on July 29th, 1998.
Yes.
And after that, sometime after that, didn't she and Chris turn over permanent custody
Yes.
to Christopher's parents?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what date that was?
July 29th.
The exact same day.
Yes.
So they drove from Fulton County Court straight to Henry County Court
Yes.
and made that permanent.
Yes.
Okay. You stated that when you saw Melissa in the summer of 1998, she was wearing long sleeves and blue jeans.
Yes.
And it was in the middle of July.
Yes.
And you stated you didn't observe any bruises at that time because she had long sleeves and blue jeans on.
Right.
In fact, when you talked to Detective Calhoun originally in 2003, You never even mentioned anything about scrapes or bruises at all, did you?
I don't believe I did.
You never mentioned anything about her being drug on the sidewalk, did you?
I don't recall.
Fair enough. And you've testified here that Melissa was in fact rearrested in October of 1998. Is that correct?
It was before October 98. She was in DeKalb County Jail in September of 1998 on her birthday.
In September?
Yes.
Okay.
And she did not go to court until November.
Okay. Do you remember why she had been arrested?
Violation of probation.
And do you remember how she had violated her probation?
To my understanding, she left Chris again after July, that she left him again in August.
If I told you it was because of her not taking GED classes and not performing community service according to the terms of her probation, would that sound correct to you?
I do not know.
Okay. And so according to you, she spent from her birthday, sometime around her birthday, until early November in jail.
Yes.
So you're saying she was in jail for 60 days, or roughly 60 days, 2 months?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. And when she was let out of jail, was her sentence done at that point, or did they leave her terms of probation in place?
They reinstated her probation.
Okay. And one of the terms of that probation would be that she has to check in regularly with the probation officer. Is that right?
I would assume so, yes.
And are you aware that Melissa quit contacting her parole officer after December 10th of 1998?
I do not know.
Are you aware that she never reported in person to the probation officer after the days she was let out of jail?
I'm unaware. I do not know.